Back, we're going to head to Old Trafford and look at 3 incidents in this one. Let's start with a penalty appeal from United for what they perceived a foul by Maxime Diallo on Amad Diallo. This was in the 16th minute. It was Anthony Taylor, the referee here, Dermot. What did you think of this, though, Jay? Go on.
This is a definite penalty for me. Again, Amad Diallo is running into the box. There's the slightest touch. But if I can't even see who the defender is. If the defender, he puts his leg out, so obviously he's made contact. He's touched the ball slightly, but that contact has stopped Amad getting to the ball. So whether he's touched the ball or not, and it's a minuscule, he's literally touched that, because the ball is basically travelling in the same direction, he's stopped Amad getting to that. So that's why I would say that is a penalty. Again, it was the same with Gyökeres. Again, the smallest touch. These touches are not enough to say, oh, he's touched the ball, it can't be a penalty. Because players can still get back to the ball. So that's why I think that Amad one that we've just seen is a penalty.
It's interesting that we've seen Gyökeres with Pope, we've saw Saka with Kevin, we've seen this one. They've been consistent in this. You get a touch on the ball, they're not going to give a penalty. They've done it for week 6, week 8, week 9.
They didn't do it in week 5.
No,
when it was Sanchez who touched the ball,
yeah.
and then Mbeumo goes through, and then so they've changed the rule after week 5. Is basically what you're saying.
I didn't say that at all. I said since the Gyökeres one, when they've come out and said he's got a touch on the ball, it seems to be in this situation they've been consistent as you've asked for. They haven't given any of them.
And that's all you can ask for, the consistency.
Yes, but I'm saying like, we're gonna come back to this all season. The Sanchez one happened where he came out of goal and he actually touched the ball. Yes, he's wiped out Mbeumo, but he's touched the ball first. And then he gets the red card for that. The week after, we see the Gyökeres one. Now they're saying, oh, he's touched the ball, so it's not a penalty. And then they've changed the rules since then. But that rule wasn't in place when it happened to Sanchez, because if that was the case, he wouldn't have got a card at all.
No. I think that's a different tackle anyhow. But what I'm saying is, the Gyökeres one seems to be the flag in the ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've touched the ball. That's what they've said. Saka, Kevin touched the ball. This one, Diallo touched the ball.
So just
three identical incidents, 3 identical decisions.
So just to be clear as well for the people at home, rules can be changed during the season?
No, there's no such. The laws cannot be changed. The interpretation or how they define the directives, how to interpret them, can be implemented how they feel best. But they've obviously felt, as I say, from Pope, touched the ball. Kevin touched the ball. Diallo touched the ball. All 3. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about.
I hear you on that.
There's no doubt about all 3 touched the ball.
Yes.
There's no doubt about all 3. The referee made the same decision.
Okay. The doubt is those players, if they don't get contact from the defenders or the goalkeeper, could get back to that ball.
Maybe so.
Because you see it in you might see a winger dribbling past a defender. The defender might get the smallest touch on it, but as long as he don't touch the winger, he can get past them still and get the ball still. This is another example of interpretation, I'm going to say, because ultimately, Amad there, he's come inside. The smallest touch is not okay. Look, this is the smallest touch. The ball is not really even changed direction. He probably could get back to that as well. Amad is rapid, he's nippy. He could probably get back to that and be in control of the ball, maybe even have a shot. But ultimately, just because you've touched the ball, the narrowest touch, it doesn't mean that it's not a penalty still or a foul.
Okay.
We're going to disagree on this one, Derms.
I'm not disagreeing.
So it should be a penalty?
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just pointing out that I'm not going to go through it again. The 3 incidents in week 6, 8 and 9, we've had identical decisions, no penalty. So it's obvious that the referees, in their mind, think gets a touch on the ball, that negates a penalty.
There we go. We'll leave it at that. Let's move on to this one, which was in the build-up, in the lead-up to United's 3rd goal. We've got Luke Shaw appearing to pull back Jorginho Rutter. Yep, over to you, Dermot.
Play on. I think gets gets a little feel of a player, but is it enough? Referee's got the best position. He looks at it, says no. You've got VAR says no as well. The VAR and the referee are probably the best two referees in the world, so I would side with them.
If he gives that, yeah.
Any argument?
If he gives that, I can understand why, because you're going to look at it and say he's pulled his shirt. But I agree with Dermot again. I don't think it's enough for him to go down the way he did. He could have been a lot stronger and stayed on his feet. I mean, he's a strong player anyway. Rutter is. He's quick. He could have stayed on his feet there. So I will say it's the right decision.
Also, the ball's running away, so he may well think it's easy for me to go down, see if I can get a free kick, because he's not going to win the ball.
Yeah, good point. Right. Let's take you to the 71st minute. This was United leading 3-0. Patrick Dorgu fouled Yankuba Minte. Now, a yellow card was given, but you've questioned this one, Jay. Is that right? Let's take a look at the incident then.
Yeah, Hayley, I've not questioned it. It is the right decision.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, it's a terrible first touch from Minte. But he's going through there. Dorgu has touched him. It's a foul. But again, this is Anthony Taylor, I think, making a decision based upon what he thinks what would have happened. And he's got it right, because I don't think he would have got onto that. But then we see examples last week where a referee is saying a defender would have got round to cover. So again, it's an interpretation. I think it's the right decision, which is great, but I'm going to talk about consistency every week now. And if we're going on consistency, that could have been a red card.
Why?
Any chance that could have ever been a red
because
card?
If a player goes round, if he toes that now and gets round the keeper, for example, the ball goes the other way, not towards the keeper, would that be given as a red card?
Right. This is 100% not a red card. Everybody in the world knows.
I agree with that, but I'm saying if the ball goes in another direction, would you then say that is a red card?
Well, it did.
Even if he's not in control of the ball?
It didn't go in a different direction, but two criteria. Is he in possession of the ball? Quite clearly no, because his first touch is so heavy. Is he likely to gain control of the ball? 100% not, because it's run through to the keeper. Therefore, we strike out.
Have we got the one from last week with Sarr?
Yeah. So it was Crystal Palace Bournemouth, wasn't it, early this season? So This is Marcos Senesi fouled Ismaila Sarr. Now the referee gave a yellow.
Okay.
This one was sent to the monitor, wasn't it? He stayed with his original decision of yellow, though. So look, this is good consistency, Jay. It's what you want.
No, because this is what I'm saying. With this one here, he is definitely going to take his touch inside and get a shot off. Okay. There is absolutely no way the defender is coming round there to cover for the player that's brought down Sarr. There is no way he's getting there. So that would be a goal-scoring opportunity, which means he should have got a red card, but he didn't. So again, this is the consistency I'm talking about.
Okay.
And this is interpretation from the referees, isn't it? Of what he's deemed, can he get back or not? And the VAR people, can he get back and get round to cover for Sarr?
It is, but I don't think that's a red card, because the ball's gone away from goal. Minte's bearing down on goal.
I know. I think we agreed, though. You think that he could have got a shot off.
I said possibly, and that's the difference. Dogso is denial obvious, and I think that's not obvious. I think it's possible. See, once that word changes,
for me, I'm just looking at the Sarr one, and I'm saying yes. That is obvious he's going to get a shot off there, because he is fast. His next touch is going to take him toward the goal. He will definitely get a shot off. There's no way the defender is going to cover 15 yards, especially when Mateta are in between them. That to me is a red card. This one is a red card because he's taken a bad touch. The keeper's coming out. It is a right decision. It is a yellow card because the keeper is coming out to collect the ball.
Go on, Dermot.
That's what I was going to reinforce. We're actually talking about this one this week, and we're getting bogged down with last week, but this one is a really, really good identification, A, by the referee, and B, by the VAR to back him up, because, as I said, he's not in control of the ball, he's not going to get the ball. It's just a really, really good decision, and I think that's...
The consistency I want to see, though, is, for example, going forward, as long as if the referees are going to make their own decision and interpretation on whether a defender can cover around, or in the instance where the keepers come out there to collect the ball, if they're going to make these decisions consistently, I want to see what happens, because I'm finding it difficult to understand, especially with the Saar one there. I know it's a different scenario and it's a different week and we're covering this.
3 wins in a row for Manchester United, 4 home league wins in a row as well at Old Trafford. Finished the weekend in the top 6 at last for Manchester United fans. Tim, a little bit of momentum and positivity.
Yeah, I'm delighted for United. I thought they've had a real tough time of it, haven't they, over the few years. Look, they're not out of it by any means, but it's encouraging. I think their result against Liverpool at Anfield was a springboard where they can go on. The confidence they would have taken from that. Yeah, they rode their luck in that game, but you're going to go to the home of the champions, you're going to have to ride your luck. And they did that. They scored a couple of goals, got a late Harry Maguire goal, gives them a huge amount of confidence bouncing into their home fixture, where they found it difficult, in front of the home fans who expect. And I think their offensive players who they've gone into the market have really turned up, And Burmo looks a top draw player, along with Cunha. Look like they need to play in a Man United shirt. They got their swagger, pump their chest out, real Manchester United players. Mason Mount's been playing. Hopefully he can get a rhythm of games now. Seshko, jury's still out for me, but he will only get better. The weakness still is the defensive side. I think Lammens, the goalkeeper's done well. I think they've made it easy for him. They're not asked him to play out stupidly around his penalty area. He's playing long off his left and right foot. He's a good kicker. So, it's positive news for Manchester United, finally.
They've had a lot of criticism over the years in recruitment, but those two Tim mentioned in particular, Cunha and Mbeumo. I mean, I was there yesterday. We know how heavy that shirt's been for certain players over certain years. They're both Manchester United fans. They were desperate, but they look like they're embracing it, like they're loving that stage. That's the difference, Leon.
Yeah, made easier by the results at Anfield and going and now being on a 3-game streak of confidence. Suddenly, you can be the player you want to be. You're not weighed down as heavy by the stadium, by the shirt, by the expectation that is there every time you go out onto the pitch. Now you're starting to see their true selves of what they're capable of doing, because. We know that results haven't gone their way. We know that the quality in the squad should get better results, but you have to go and show your quality. You have to go and show your moments, and they've certainly done that. I think they've looked a lot more organised in the last couple of games. I think defensively set up, I think they're working better as a team. I think your Cunha and your Mbeumo are coming a little bit deeper to help the 2 central midfielders out, so they're not getting exposed, because I think for the majority they've been so exposed in the middle of the pitch. But now they're defending as a team, and Mbeumo and Cunha especially are getting back in and helping. And now you're starting to see them arriving in spaces. Now you're starting to see the confidence that builds. And there's no doubt that they're terrific players. And this is the finish of a guy that actually was playing for Brentford not too long back. We haven't seen it up till this stage in his short United career, but I think we'll see a lot more of it.
I think a lot more dynamic in the final third now, aren't they? They're playing 1 and 2 touch. You see that? It's probably encouraged by the manager. We have to give him some credit for that, not to be too ponderous around the midfield and the back areas, playing it square and backwards. It's not tolerated at Old Trafford. We know that down the years, and it's still the same now. It's the same DNA with them fans, different years, but I think they want the ball forward. They want it to attacking players. They're getting it in the right areas now, and they're shining. So with the confidence of winning football matches, look, it's a long way to go before they're Manchester United of old. Will they ever get there? But it's positive signs. I'm pleased for Ruben, because I think he talks so well, even in defeat. And he doesn't get too carried away when he wins a few games, which we've seen recently.
Yeah, and there is a long way to go, but it did smell of the old Manchester United yesterday, because, as Tim says, the Anfield win was a springboard, but they weren't expected to get too much at Anfield. But yesterday, back at home, where they had to take the mantle, they were, and they've overcome the challenge.
Yeah, they did. I actually thought the fact that Brighton have got a really good record in recent years at Old Trafford, and the way Brighton play gave Manchester United a little bit more leeway to play, because I don't think they play out from the back as much at the moment. They're happy to go long, whether Seshko's in the team or not. They're happy to go more direct, which is what we would call old-school football. They're not giving the ball away, trying to play through the lines at the back. They're going over the top. They're being more straightforward, more forward passes. And that's when you're getting the best, because suddenly Mbeumo's got space to run into rather than playing against a low block. Cunha's got space to operate in rather than everybody being behind the ball. And Yeah, I think Manchester United have certainly benefited from being a lot more direct.
I think Cunha and Mbeumo or Mason Mount, if it's him, they're playing into out. So they're helping out Bruno Fernandes in there and Casemiro. We've talked about how sometimes they get isolated, they haven't got the legs to carry around, but some of the distances are great now because they've got Cunha in there. They could just roll him the ball and he takes you up the field. And Mbeumo exactly the same, good dribblers, good strength. And like I say, the most important thing, they've got the swagger to play for Manchester United. I'm sure if you line up against them in the tunnel, you're looking across. Whereas years gone by, recent years, some of them are shying down because they're going over at Old Trafford with trepidation. Not these boys. They're sticking their chest out there. Now you see him in there waving to the camera. I mean, he's going to be a real character, Cunha, for that group of fans. So they're going to love him, and certainly Mbeumo as well.
On this consistency level, then you're hard to argue if they can make the European places.
And there was a lot when they were losing. There were a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, the recruitment was poor because they didn't get a defensive midfielder. They didn't get it right at the back." But now, since they've been winning, I mean, Cunha and Mbeumo, Sesko's got a couple of goals in recent weeks as well. So are they showing that actually they've got a recruitment largely right?
They've got, largely right, but it's also on the side. But when have you seen Manchester United take the best player from Wolves and the best player from Brentford? It doesn't really happen, right? They've got them in and they've fitted perfectly into the style of play that he wanted to. You've got to give hats off as well to Casemiro. A lot of people saying, he's too old, he's gone, he can't play in the position, he can't do it in the Premier League. Well, actually, he's been fantastic in the Premier League for Manchester United in these last 3 games. He's really made that position his own. But Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha and Sesko, them 3 at the top of the pitch have really transformed United.
Would you prefer, as a front 3, Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko, or would you prefer Salah, Ekitike and Gakpo? This is on current form.
On current form, I'll go mix and match. I'll take Ekitike, but then I would have Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. Matheus Cunha for me is something so exciting. I see it when I look back and watch Manchester United versus Burnley. In the first 20 minutes, he was phenomenal. He was running the game, and then he got injured, and then Manchester United seemed to take their foot off the pedal.
It's quite incredible that